Hello, everybody. Everybody, four.
Hello. Four
How
people.
are you guys? Toni Candy. Really. I don't know when this was. Oh yeah, it was 8:42 a.m.
Yeah.
Toni Candy. Can't wait for this. So hopefully you're here, Toni. And good. Thanks for chucking the comment down there. If you're with us, and there's three of you with us. So just throw your name. Hello. Gabsy. Hello, good to see you, Gabsy. Don't forget, chuck your hello in the comments. We love to know who's with us, and it's always great. Now, I mean, we've got to address the elephant in the room. Literally, he's not literally an elephant, but he's back. He's
Nearly.
back. Nearly an elephant. more of a hippo. They're more. I prefer to be a hippo than an elephant. Oh look, there we go. Karen J, nice to see you back, Paul.
Thank you.
He's back.
I'm back.
Debbie Hayward, thanks very much. And David, hello, David. Now, I think you sent me a Facebook comment the other day. I didn't miss it. I will be replying. Don't worry, I've just been really busy. Good stuff. Hello, Christos. Good to have you here with us, friend. And your mum. Big up,
Mum.
Hello,
Hey, Mum.
Suzanne in the house. So yeah, Paul's back. We're doing a Q&A. Hopefully we're going to be back to our normal routine, if you will,
Yes.
of a Wednesday night. And next week I shall be on Paul's channel doing a haircut. And then Paul will hopefully be on my channel the following week, colouring said haircut. Obviously, Paul's unfortunately been incapacitated with his back. But he's still not 100%, guys. So we've got him here on crutches. He's limping. Yeah. He's limping still. Yeah. So tell us, Paul, what's going on?
Well, you all know my back, but the osteopath has said.
Well, where are you at with your back? We'd like to know.
Where am I at? Well, yeah. I think what I heard Monday, he reckons that the disc is going back in, stopping the pushing on the nerve. But at the minute, it's sort of like hanging out, making my back kill. So, it's killing, but hopefully it's a good killing.
Everyone loves a good killing. Not a bad killing.
Yeah.
Dannielle's with us. Hi, Dannielle. Thanks for joining us. Gilles. Yay, I've caught the start of one. I'm not late. Nice to have you with us. Toni Candy. Whoop, whoop. First commenter, the Curious Hairstylist. Good to see you. Maureen and Toni Candy again. Hi everyone. Jess is providing the sweets tonight, not for me but for Paul. He's got Wow.
Keep me going. I'm exhausted. Like the pain, as you all know, if you get an injury, the pain just sucks the life out of you. And having to work as well because I'm back in the salon. But it's just zaps me. Yeah,
he zapped the old lad. Absolutely zapped. Wow. Sponsored by Wow tonight. Tonight's episode is brought by Wow. Good. Lisa Lewis with us. Thank you, Lisa. And Curious Stylist, whose real name is Maureen, says, "Oh no, poor guy. Yeah, he's had a mare, Maureen. He's had a mare."
Yeah.
Curious Hairstylist has got a YouTube channel for anybody that's interested. Go and check out her stuff. So fantastic. Right, well, tonight what we thought we'd do is Paul and I, we were just going to have a casual one, a Q&A, a bit of a chat, and we're going to talk about the haircuts that really got to us when we were learning to cut hair. There's a few that really got to me and took a long time to get my head around when I was kind of learning the classics. And so we thought we'd start the ball rolling with that. If you've got any questions you want to ask, then just bang them in the comments box. If you've got any haircuts that really plagued you or still plague you, then most definitely throw them in the comment section. We would love to hear from you guys. But I'm going to start the ball rolling. There was 3 haircuts that really got me. I'll start with the first one. The very first haircut that really kind of caught me off guard, and it took a long time, that probably the most difficult one for me to get my head around, was a long uniform layer. And for anybody that, may not use that terminology, pulling the hair out straight from the head and traveling in a complete ball, basically, a bit like my hair is now, a complete ball, pulled straight out from the head shape. And I just could not get that haircut to sit right for love nor money. I'd end up with a hole here. I'd end up with, a mullet in the back and short in the sides, and I couldn't make that haircut work. So before I tell you how I went about kind of changing that, Paul, what was your nemesis haircut for a while?
I think the balance of a graduated bob.
Yeah.
I think that in the very early stages, because when I just qualified, the Posh Price's bob was like the go-to requested haircut, and at college you didn't learn them. You learned, like you said, uniform layer, long graduation, short graduation, and this bob sort of come out of nowhere, and it was just something that we had to adapt and learn. But it was a real test on how to do them.
No, totally. I mean, I did struggle with the bob shape, but I got taught a fantastic trick pretty early on how to kind of, and I've done a video on it, and it's actually what we teach at LSE as well. That's a little technique that was taken from a chap called Stacey Broughton, where we take that vertical section in the centre back and a horizontal section, and we create ourselves two guides. I was taught that before I joined LSE. And it's a really fantastic way of changing it. But I mean, I'm just reading in the comment section here. It says the Curious Hairstylist says we too. I think that was to the uniform layer shape. So for me, I think the moment that I kind of got my head around that haircut, there was two factors. The first factor was accepting in its purest shape, you are going to lose density and weight in the front because of the change of density due to the ear. Could never get my head around that initially. I was it was just part of the haircut, and then of course you probably wanted then put a forward grad on it to make it look like something that was meant to be like that. But for me, the big change to getting that haircut to look right, or to sit well, or to even cross check it and it not look like the back of a camel, was body position. My body position, getting my body position to sync to being in line with each and every section as I pulled it out of the head. I think that for me was like an aha moment. So what was it for you that cracked the graduated bob then? What was the kind of like, I know this is what we need to do now?
I think practice.
Yeah.
Practice made permanent.
Yeah.
But I do think I just cracked it with regards to doing them so much in the salon. I knew that, right, to create this shape, body position had to be here, and we had to over direct back to something. There was always a guide. It might have been directly in the middle. It might have been just to the side of it. But yeah, like the LSE, when that horizontal and vertical guide came in, it was like, that for me was a light bulb moment for like, oh, this is so much easier to teach now. Because that's what I always struggled. I could do a graduated bob, but there was no real, when people said, how would you get the balance so balanced? I was like, well, I've just got my way.
Do you think that's an interesting thing about teaching something though, that, like you've really got to truly understand it? I mean, Einstein said, if you can't explain something silly, if you can't explain something simply, then you don't truly understand it. Yeah. So do you feel like that's a bit of that, once you get that grounding, in the technicalities of a technique, that you then tend to kind of harness the technique, and you can then share the technique. No, interesting stuff. And do you think that with like that particular haircut, symmetry is a big thing with your body position and your hand position, irrelevant of whether you cut both sides upside down or you know, one side upside down, also, you know, keeping that symmetry of the angle and everything. How do you go about, now when you cut a graduated bob and you're thinking about it technically, like, and you're saying to yourself, you know, what markers do you use to kind of carry out execution of the left and the right to look balanced, be balanced? Because obviously the body position naturally changes, you know, if you go from here to there.
Yeah.
So do you have any like triggers in your mind? You point your elbow somewhere? Do you have any kind of things that you kind of? I
like to use the corners quite a bit for my graduated shapes now. Because one thing that I always found, and a lot of people did speaking to them, was that their graduated bobs always were really heavy behind the ear. They always ended up, because you were over directing to the middle so much. And then when it was, so you'd cut your vertical pieces in, and when you got to that corner of the head, that was a moment for me where I could then really taper in behind the ear to create much more of like a balanced, less bulky, tighter graduated bob. So that for me as like a groundbreaking moment for creating a really sleek, tight graduated bob, working in different places. But yeah, like you say, fingers up, fingers down, whichever way you do it, as long as you've got your guides and your body position isn't moving, or if it is moving, it's moving exactly the same on the other side, then yeah, that's it really. But yeah, I mean, the way that you learn and then the LSE teach is a way that sometimes I will use, but then sometimes when I want to create something different, I just break down the haircut in front of me, just visually, just looking at this hair, just like, right, there. That's where I need to bring back to create that look, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, I tend to use adaptations of that LSE, you know, the one I learned from Stacey. But then I also will just go ad hoc, a cappella, freehand, you know, and do it as I see it sometimes as well. And I think to have both is a valuable thing. But if you're not sure what we're talking about, guys, then you could go. I've got the haircut on my channel. If you just go to the search bar, type in "The Life of Hair Graduated Bob." So if you put "The Life of Hair" first and then "Graduated Bob," you'll see that video will pop up, and you can check that out at some point. So we've got Dannielle saying here, forward graduation was a tricky one. A pixie cut, anything horseshoe section, and now they are my favourites to do. Of course, yes, practice makes permanent, as Paul mentioned earlier. And of course, you know, this is true to anything. Exactly like Paul said with his graduated bob shapes. You know, the more he did it, the more easy they became. So I mean, you know, that was one here, you know, and I eventually kind of got my head around that uniform layer, and I didn't make it look like the back of a camel. And the other ones that kind of caught me out, the next one that really caught me out was a short round graduation, starting in the front, traveling into the nape for extra weight in the occipital bone. So working, over directing the first two sections to build up the weight quickly, and then keeping the finger angle at 45 and traveling down. Oh, I couldn't get that balanced for so long. I would just make such a pig's ear of that haircut so many times. There was no one trick that I ever learned that kind of I could, you know, unfortunately I can't share specifically. Getting those first two sections right, though, is probably the biggest secret to that entire haircut. You know, making sure that those first two sections, that your first section comes straight out from the hairline and your second section comes onto the hairline, your finger angle's identical, and then you cut the opposite side, you know, to match it as close as you can straight away. Then you can get on with the rest of the haircut and get a balance effect. But, you know, again, that was one of the haircuts that actually I never kind of learned a specific trick or a specific tip or take a slither section or anything like that to kind of help me with that haircut. It was just lots and lots of practice that kind of allowed me to be able to be succinct in that particular haircut. So any others, Paul, that caught you out? We've got a few comments coming through, so I'm going to read those off in a sec.
I mean, uniform layer was a beast to do, just to get that balance, to get everything as if it's the same length, was just that spherical shape. Just to nail that was hard. One of the cuts, what do they call it? Is box layer. I don't know if they do that anymore. But where it was like you brought it all up to the ceiling, made sure if you tipped upside down, it was all the same length. I did that at college and never did it again. But having to qualify to do that was something that really, I'm glad. Well, I don't know if they do it anymore, to be honest. All I know is LSE, to be honest, with MVQ. And
if anybody's done MVQ recently and you had to cut a square layer and tip it upside down and see if it would, let us know. We'd love to know.
Yeah,
we did that too. We did that too, for sure. And I mean, I don't know if anybody's seen these Instagram pictures where people, you know, tilt their graduated bobs back, and it's, you know, it's like a. Yeah. I love those images. They look absolutely fantastic. So what have we got here? Toni Candy. Yes, the long one was okay for me, but the short one was more difficult. Good stuff. Curious says, my first uniform layer took 2 hours, and it was wrong. Exactly. The uniform layer is a tricky haircut. Don't matter what you say about it.
Yeah,
it is a tricky haircut. Hi, Carly. Thanks for joining us. Curious hairstylist. A-line bob gave me a hard time at first. Exactly, with the A-line bob, it is one of those haircuts. I mean, I think the short round grad, the A-line bob, and the uniform layer, they're 3 really monstrous haircuts to get your head around. How many haircuts do you think, Paul, that most hairstylists use in their entire career?
So, day in the salon, how many would you use?
Yeah, separate haircuts. Think about it. I mean, like day in, day out, to earn your bread and butter. Think about the variety of haircuts that you would use, because I think there's a number on it roughly.
Well, I was going to say 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think 4 to 5, and that's really the upper echelons of what you would use day in, day out to earn a living. So when we think of it like that, Paul, what do you reckon? Do you reckon that you know, do you reckon that focusing really hard on those 3 or 4 haircuts is valuable, or do you think that, you know, maybe based on the fact that you'll be cutting them over and over again, focus on other things?
I think nailing them, because when you've got, so what I'm thinking is you've got basically a really crisp one length, whether it's above shoulders or below, that's just one. You've got a graduated bob, whether it's asymmetric or just A-line bob. You've got a long layer, and then in the mix, just trying to think of what we would do, is probably mashing a few of them together, to be honest. So you basically want to create in bespoke bobs by understanding that you can have graduation in with layer, in with line, because it's line layer graduation. But for nailing them, I would, like we do with LSE, and the guys will know what we do, I would say, nail the 4 standout haircuts in the salon that you will know will bring you in that money, that you're going to, if somebody sees that long layered haircut, they're going to know it's you in where you live, or how clean that graduation is on your short grad or your graduated bobs or anything like that, or how sharp your bob lengths are or one lengths. And then what you can then start to do, like what we do, is then mash them together. So if you can do your graduated bob, but then if you want it really long at the front, say, for example, but do you know what I mean? That's what we do. So we learn these recipes 100%, and then we can mash them together to create whatever clients want, really.
Absolutely. No, I mean, you know, I know everyone will know that I reflect that sentiment entirely, but let's read this out, and I've got an interesting thing to talk about. Uniform layer is the hardest, I think. Lisa Lewis, this is. The uniform layer is the hardest, I think. I haven't been able to do it long yet. It was the one that almost didn't pass. I managed to do it on the last day. Wowza. On the wire. Pixie short grad made me sweat, Karen J. And you both taught us so well. Oh, thank you, Tony. We try our best. Lots of very sweet comments there. Flat top. Yes. I'll tell you what, I've got a flat top story, actually. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Was always the one that got me. Still can't use a flat topper. So glad nobody wants it now. Yeah, it might come back into fashion, though. So let's...
maybe.
You know, you might want to get your flat topper out. for me, you know, it's interesting. So if you know, if we both agree that it's probably averagely 4 haircuts that hello, Paul's dad.
Hello.
Averagely 4 haircuts that kind of make up and in you know, an entire hairdresser's career. When you think of it like that, do you not think that then actually that simplifies it somewhat? Because I think sometimes it's easy to overcomplicate,
Definitely,
you know, the reality of being a professional hairdresser, you know, in the salon, you know, day in, day out, when, you know, most of the time, most of the day, you do box layer, you know, potentially a uniform, but not that much, you know, graduated bob and a nice one length. I think it's for me, when you break it down like that, when you think of it like that, and you say to yourself, actually, all I need to do is become increasingly proficient at 4 haircuts, it makes the days in the salon or your salon career, you know, like, okay, it can seem a bit dull, but if you can do them absolutely bang on, you know, if they're 10 out of 10, as we'd say in Lee Stafford Education, Michelin star haircuts, you know, there's a great sense of pride in doing them so beautifully that people recognize that. Do you not think, Paul?
Yeah, definitely. And I had this conversation with one of my guys today. I'm just trying to have some little appraisal meetings with them all. And Erin was saying that he thinks he's doing really well, which he is, and with his cutting and colouring. But he was like, I don't think it's at your standard. And it's like, but I've been doing it a lot longer. But all you have to worry about, mate, is the fundamentals, and then you can literally mash them all together to create anything. So I think that was a bit of an eye opener for him today, just for me to be like, mate, if you can just go do a perfectly straight line, nice graduation, and nice layering, you're a winner.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. I totally think that, and I think it's. I wanted to come on here tonight, really, you know, the point of tonight was really to sort of point out 2 things: is that, you know, we both struggled, you know, like nobody's business, to get these basic haircuts down. You know, we both, you know, well, I definitely cried over them. I don't know if you did, but I definitely did. You know, and you know, it was mind-numbingly difficult some days to get these haircuts. But once it clicked, once I got it, you know, it was like riding a bike. You know, you can just do it, and it's day in and it's day out, and then you can really hone your skills, you know, perfect and refine. And then, of course, like you say, mash those techniques together. So, what would you say, right? If you know, like, if you were going to kind of say, right, you know, we're going to use the term, I guess, master stylist. You know, somebody that would really kind of perfect. How many haircuts do you think they would have in the bag?
Again, probably pushing 5. Thinking about it, I don't really think of it as like haircuts now. When I'm looking for inspiration and everything, I'm literally sitting there breaking it down in front of me while I'm consulting. That, yeah, it might be this side is graduated, for instance, and this side might be layered. I'm not thinking, right, I'm going to do my graduated bob this side, I'm going to do my layering this side, or uniform this side. All I'm thinking is, right, this person wants this look, and I'm going to do it. And you sort of get to that level where, because I remember when you'd go in and you'd be thinking, oh my God, I've got a new client. You don't know what you don't know what they want. You've never seen their hair, and you'd be in there just dreading 4 o'clock, thinking, oh God, like, what if they want something I can't do? Whereas when you just get comfortable with what you're doing, I never really think of it as like, right, this side I'm going to do a bob, this side I'm going to do this, that, and then all I think now is, right, this person wants this look, this trend, and I'm going to create it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Actually, it was. I'm going to apologise actually, because it was a slightly trick question I wanted to ask you. Really, that because again, you know, I don't think there is more than those few haircuts. What really breaks it down for me after that, you know, is those techniques. And actually, you answered the second part of what I was going to say really beautifully. Is that there's only really 3 techniques.
Yeah.
You know, line, layer, graduation.
Yeah.
So you're looking at it in the pure technique form. How do I connect this graduation on the left side into this layer on the right side. At what point do I want these two haircuts to meet, and what steps do I take to get these two haircuts to meet each other on one person's head, or whatever the outcome is. And I think that's, because the term I use, master stylist, I always hate those kind of terms anyway, or expert, and I think it's really important that we simplify it even further. 4 haircuts will take most hairdressers through their entire careers. And simplifying it even further, those 4 haircuts are made of only 3 techniques. So for me, I think it's like a really interesting combination of 2 things, isn't it? It's an interesting combination of understanding.
Here's a good one.
Go on.
Do you think, say, I've just thought about this. Do you think, say, like the master stylist expert would have 3 haircuts and a newbie might be thinking of 20?
Well, I mean, the newbie's not confounded or conflicted by his previous or her previous experiences, are they? So it could well be that the freedom of inexperience can allow for creativity, can't it? Because there's no preconceived ideas to whether it does or doesn't work.
They could be thinking of like long layers, medium layers, short layers. Do you know what I mean? Like long hair, medium hair, short hair, pixie cut, men's short back and sides, women's clipper cut, women's finger cut, and all of that. And they'd be they'd sit somebody in their chair thinking, right, you have this, and this is that haircut.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. I think sometimes we look at these things too one-dimensionally when we get caught up in the reality of a day in, day out, and of course with a little bit of free thinking and inexperience, some interesting things come out. Sunlight has just thrown up hello, good vibes, thank you, Sunlight.
Good vibes.
Good to have you with us. And Toni Candy said, I just cut my mannequin head and they usually turn out great. I think good stuff. Well, that's they probably do, Toni. If you think they look good, you've got eyes. You can be the judge of whether you think it looks good or not.
I had this conversation as well. It's so funny how we're talking about this now. So, like in the salon today, I had a client, and I do her mum's hair as well. And she said, "Oh my God, like you do my mum's hair lovely." I was like, "Oh, thanks." And she said, "No, like the amount of people that stop her just to say, oh my God, I've just got to say how nice your hair is." And I think that is like, we can say, I love your hair, I've just cut it or coloured it, and I think it looks great. You might be sitting there thinking, I think I really like my hair, what he's done to my hair today. And it's not until you get that from a total stranger that someone will want to come over to sort of congratulate you on having really nice hair.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it's funny, isn't it? Like the power that a haircut has.
Yeah.
On not just you as an individual, but how people perceive that individual as well. It's really interesting. I mean, a woman said to me the other day, I cut her hair, and I've cut her hair for years. She's a lovely woman, and she said to me, one of her friends said, "Oh, I really like your hair," and she said, "Oh, where'd you get it done?" And this woman had said to her, "Oh, this is my hairdresser," and I think she'd asked her how much she pays for her hair, and she said, "Oh, it's 76 quid," and the woman said, "Oh, I wouldn't pay that much for a haircut."
Yeah. And
my client Lorraine, she's brilliant. I just love her, and she said, I was sitting there thinking, and I can tell.
Yep.
So. I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? That is,
It is. That is it. It's you pay for what you get in some
in all walks of life. In all walks of life, in everything you do, don't you? I mean, unless you met a young Vidal Sassoon when he was charging, £12 a haircut, and he'd probably do you an absolute knockout haircut for 12 quid. That's how it goes down, isn't it? A couple of comments just popped up. Also know how hair textures and patterns affect your choice of cut. Yeah, I mean, that's a really fantastic point. Thank you for that, Thyra. Yeah. Thanks very much for that. Well, I always murder everyone's name, so that's if you're new to the live stream. Part of being here is that I will murder your name unless it's really easy to pronounce. But no, I mean, that's a great point, isn't it? You know, and for you, Paul, what do you think that the best way to learn is? The best way to start understanding how growth patterns and hair texture really are a vital point, you know, part of you know, understanding how to, you know.
For one, having a mentor that will pull you to one side to show you if they've. I've got a client who's got a nape whirl, a cow's lick, and a double crown, and that's one thing that I always pull new stylists over.
And a shaved head.
And a shaved head, yeah. But I'll always pull them over to say, "Oh, come on! I just want to show you this. Like, this is what a nape whirl is. This is what a cow. This is a very severe cow's lick. We just do a really nice sort of skin fade, skin fade, quiff. Everything suits it perfectly. But knowing hair texture and patterns, it's just doing it. I know having a good mentor, so a mentor can show you what it is. But there's nothing like doing a haircut and wondering why that crown won't sit down.
We've all been there. Anybody that's got hair has been there. I mean, for me, yeah, that's it. I think mentorship is a massive part of this industry. And I had this conversation. I was on a podcast last week. I was interviewed for a podcast, and the lady who interviewed me is called Elaine Travis. If anyone doesn't know her, she's got a YouTube channel, and she does a podcast called Ask the Color Expert. And I was talking to her. I don't know when she's going to put this out, but 3 weeks. 3 weeks, actually, she said. 3 weeks as of last week, so 2 weeks from now. And she's on iTunes and Spotify. Ask the Color Expert by Elaine Travis. And she said, you know, we were talking about mentorship. She was talking about in America that so many people are leaving beauty school and setting up a booth salon straight away.
Yeah.
And well, here they are. Yeah, I mean, it's happening. But I off air afterwards, I thought of a really good point, but we'll get to that in a second. You know, and she was saying, well, what about mentorship? You know, where will that go? What will happen to mentorship? And you know, and I thought to myself, yeah, it's a really good point, because I've had some bloody fantastic mentors in my time. I mean, just, you know, people that have carried me really. I wouldn't be where I am today without the mentors that I've had in my life. You know that saying, I wouldn't be where I am today without the days that I've assisted. Well, yeah, there's two things for me on that one. I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't practice, because I love practicing. And I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have the people that had whispered in my ear, you know, so many different bits of help and advice. And I'm sure you feel the same. You've had some great mentorship in your time as well. But you know, here's something for everyone to mull over and chew on. And I'd love to know what you think of this, Paul. Do you think that the mentor-mentee relationship has changed, in the sense that I feel like I'm a mentor now to a lot of people that I've never met online? You know, I mentor them business, I mentor them hair cutting, I mentor them hair coloring, I send them messages regularly, they send me messages regularly. Do you think that people leaving college and opening up their own booth business or whatever it is, freelance business, hair, you know, driving around in their car doing business, providing that they are seeking said mentorship in some fashion, do you feel like it is how do you feel? No question really, just how do you feel about it?
Well, this is the thing. It's as long as they are, and probably 95% aren't, which is the answer, because it's not free, or they won't give up their time for free, which is what we've done numerous. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how many
times.
No. So that's one of the things. Yes, if you're freelancing and you are you're trying to make a name for yourself, or you're trying to make 9 to 5 pay, having that mentor where you would have to skip, I don't know, a day, 2 days, a week. I remember having to go to one of the colleges for a week for free because we had to become a rookie and we had to work our way up.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably 5% of, I mean, you guys, the question would be great. How many of you guys, if you got the chance to be mentored by your hair hero, how many of you would do, I don't know, a year's mentorship for free? I'm not saying a whole year, but trying to put it into
put it, you know, like say once a week for a year, you know, well, actually, here's the thing, right, guys, and this is actually, Paul has pushed this not by accident, but it's something that I'm totally going to do. As some of you may or may not know, I'm opening a studio where I'm going to be doing episodes of The Life of Hair from Mondays and Tuesdays. And what I would love is people to come along and assist, come along and help me make the episodes.
Yeah.
So, you know, loads of people ask me, can I help you? Can I assist you? Loads of people send me DMs in my Instagram. But you know, and I always have the same response, really. If something comes up where I'm, you know, able to have someone, you know, come along and help, you are more than welcome to. But that is now going to be a reality. When I make the episodes on a Monday and Tuesday, I would love for you to come and hang out and you know, watch how we make the episodes and, you know, maybe even be in the episode. I don't know. But, you know, it would be wonderful. So if you're up for that, if you're watching this right now, you're getting ahead of the game. You can be first in line. Drop me a DM in my Instagram, because that is what I'd love to do. But to Paul's question, if you got to spend a year with your favorite hairdresser, you know, once a week, and it was going to be, you know, could be life changing for your career, you know, would you go to that extent, or would it have to be, you know, a different scenario? Do you think that, because I mean, like when I did my principal training, I got paid next to nothing. You couldn't live off it. You know, I lived in London. I couldn't live off the training. You know, I was like hand to mouth, like a church mouse. You know, and but you know, I did that for 18 months, day in, day out, 7 days a week, pretty much. You know, and it should have been longer, but my dad was unfortunately very unwell. It was the first time he was very unwell, and had to leave and go and, you know, help out at home. But what do you guys reckon? Do you want to come and help me? Tell me now. Yeah. But if you do want to help me, send me a DM, because I would love for you guys to come to the studio, hang out for the day, and you know, and maybe repeat that process. But well, let's just read some of the comments that came through after that one. Pia, good feeling. Nice. That was a little bit earlier. Absolutely love James Atkinson. Thank you very much. Sweetheart, very knowledgeable. That's very kind of you. Claire, thank you very much. Tony, my dad used to have a quiff because his hair wouldn't sit down because of his cow's lick. He uses Brill cream. Love Brill cream. I used to use Brill cream too. I used to straighten my hair, blow dry it into a little quiff, and then Brill cream it into position. I look like a wallet.
Brill cream, or the new,
the red tub.
Oh yeah,
with the that one.
Yeah, I used it when David Beckham started pushing gel.
Right. I remember saying to my friend when I was a teenager, I can't wait till I've got a job. I actually said this. This is a bit embarrassing, but I'll tell you guys anyway. I remember saying to my dad, to my friend when I was a teenager, I can't wait till I've got a job so I can use a whole pot of gel on my hair.
What, every day?
What was the whole pot going to do? When I pass my test, I can and I can drive. I will pop over to Brighton and Leicester to meet you both, as your great mentors, and I would love to meet you both. There we go, Tony. Come and spend the day in the studio. Work with me for the day. Yes, definitely. Financially would be hard, but it would be worth it. Nice one, Lisa. Sometimes a step back means a long-term gain. Absolutely can. Perfect stuff. I will come with you, Tony. Good. You can both come. We can both go. You can help me out for the day. We'll do a big color correction day, and you guys can come down. You're more than welcome, Lisa. That would be amazing. I would love for you guys to come along. But anybody else, truthfully, seriously, if you're watching this in the future, if you're watching this today, let me know, because Mondays and Tuesdays will be content creation days. And if you're coming a long way, there we go. I would love that, James. Yes. Send me a DM on Instagram, @thelifeofhair1. Send me a DM, and you guys can come and help out for the day. It will be after September the 1st, but yeah, I would be thrilled. And Paul and I, we're going to do some stuff together in real life, in person, in the studio.
Yeah.
Which will be kind of September / maybe October. Yeah, September, October. We haven't quite got round to a date yet, but we can't wait for that one. We can't wait to actually do some hair in the same room together.
I know, mate.
Potentially on real people. In fact, we're aiming for real people. We're going to do some big hairstyling day, and we are buzzed for that one.
Long time coming, mate.
Long time coming. We've been trapped in our spare rooms.
Can you believe it?
Too long. Huh?
Can you believe it? We've been like this for, well, what seems like forever. Yeah.
Nearly a year. Well, me and you started in February.
Yeah.
Early, very, very early February. So we've been having on now for 5 months or so.
Yeah.
But we've been real stalwarts about it. But also before that, I mean, I've been in this room now for 2 years. Creating content or in my garden. I did some in my garden for a while as well. My test will be at Christmas, so it'll be after that then. There's whenever you're free, Tony. Do not worry, I will be making content till the cows come home. I want to come. You are very welcome. It is no dramas. Just send me a DM on Instagram @thelifeofhair1. Well, what we're going to do probably tonight, because of Paul's back, and sitting does hurt Paul's back, unfortunately, is we will wrap it. You're right, are you tonight?
Well, no.
You know what? I'm fine tonight.
So when it was the nerve pain, sitting down relieved it so much. But now it's the actual back pain. Sitting down kills it. It's just the worst. It is the worst. But I'm hoping that there's light at the end of the tunnel very, very soon.
Yeah. It's been a journey for you, my friend. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap it up now and call it a night so Paul can get his back moving. And I never knew about Paul, but he's a darling as well. I will subscribe.
Thank you.
Paul is a darling. So, yes, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us tonight. Now, tomorrow night, I've got a great friend, a guest mentor joining me for a special live, Dennis Gebhardt. Although I called him Denise Gebhardt by accident on the.
I like that. I thought that was his alter ego for Thursdays.
Yeah, that's right, Denise Gebhardt. Anyway, someone pointed that out kindly. And so Dennis Gebhardt. Now, if you don't know about Dennis, I'll embarrass him tomorrow. But he's a chemist, hairdresser, all-round nice guy. Responsible for the invention of Shades EQ, which he won't wholeheartedly take credit for, but I know on the grapevine that he absolutely did.
Mega,
mate! What a superstar! Excuse my French, but what a guy! So he's going to come along tomorrow night, and he's going to put the world to rights with colour. I've got one question in already. Someone's posted in the comment section of a very short video I posted. My cat's foot is killing me. I posted in the comment section of a short that I posted last night. But if you've got any colour questions you'd really love to know, the answer to, then please be there. Put your questions in beforehand if you want me to ask it. If you don't want me to ask it and you want to throw it in the comment section, then do that too. But tomorrow night, same time, 9 p.m. on my channel. And next week, where are we, Paul?
We're on my channel.
Whoop, whoop.
Paul What's Hair, and I'll be comparing, and James is going to be doing a haircut, and then I'll do the colour the following week, and then we're back on schedule. But
we're back on schedule. We're all praying to the back gods that Paul's back is back in action.
Yeah. How often do you use the word back in day-to-day life, isn't it? It's just all the time. It just reminds every time.
Back there.
We've got, so this thing we've been alluding to that's been happening with us, we haven't actually said anything.
I know. We're stuck until September the 1st, really. We can't really. We can't really tell you guys until September the 1st. We've been NDA'd really until September the 1st. We keep alluding to it. Yeah. We've already said it actually, and then we probably said it a bit early, so we won't go back there. But we can't wait. We just love doing these lives with you guys. We love bringing this live education. We want it to be bigger, better, badder, more organized. Yeah. So we've got some help, and so it can't tell you enough how much we're so excited about what's going to happen going forward. But for now, we're going to have to leave it like that, because we're going to get into trouble if we keep talking about it, because we've been told to hold back.
And just Sal International, I'm just looking at it here.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do it.
Well, yeah, we said we're going to do it. Yeah, it's October the 15th, 16th, 17th, is it?
Yep. So we could do the... Yeah, I could do it all.
The Sunday, we could do all that. We'll decide. But we'll probably do a meet and greet on the Sunday. Yeah, that was going to be probably Sunday / Monday. Or we could do both days if people can't do that. But
Sunday's a good day to do meet and greet, isn't it? Everyone's off.
Everybody's off. Yeah, everybody's off. Apart from those people that work for Rush, Tony and Guy, headmasters, they'll have to work a Sunday, unfortunately. But if other than that, we'll probably do a couple of days. It will be good to. It would be good to, and then there are some independents open on Sunday, and I feel really sorry for you. I'm ever so sorry, guys. Our hair industry is not kind sometimes. But yeah, no, it'd be wonderful to catch up with you guys.
Thank you, Lisa.
The cat hair is killing me. It's like COVID cat hair.
Just check Lisa's last comment as well. When's the next? The competition for the freestyle?
Yeah, that's right. We got a bit sidetracked with that. Paul went off, and I then got lost with when the draw for that was. So let's just do it next week, because and leave your comments in
below
Paul's
here
video next week. So next week, Paul's video. Leave the comments in Paul's video once it's offline, and then we'll draw it the following week. Bob's your uncle. That's why we'll do it, because we should have probably drawn it last week, I think, but with Paul being off and me doing the lives and I got a bit confused, we will do it. Anyway, we'll do it next week. So as of the video on Paul's channel next week, once it's not live, leave a comment like you did last time. And for anybody that's new, basically we do prize draws. We try and do them once a month. This prize is for next week. So whoever wins this will get this in the post to them for free, courtesy of Paul and I. All you need to do is, when Paul's video is not live on his channel next week, leave a post and we do a live draw. There's Paul's cat. I feel responsible for this cat, by the way, guys.
Look at it.
It is Paul's cat. Doesn't it look amazing? Anybody that's been watching us for a long time will know that I was hamming on about Paul getting a cat because his missus wanted one, and look, boom, he's got a cat. Who knew? Look at it. Look how sweet it is.
His name's Harry.
Harry the cat. Hello, Harry.
Oh, he wants to go.
Harry's not so keen on me. Listen, Harry. Me and you should be friends. Good stuff. Right then, where are we at with some of the comments on here? Just make sure. I hope you get better soon.
Thank you.
Got a lesson in the morning, so good night. Stay safe. Good stuff, Lisa Lewis. Great night. Thanks again. Hope Paul gets better. Best cut suggestions for frizzy hair. Thank you both. You're welcome. I'll do that next week. So Paul's channel next week, I'll do a frizzy haircut suggestions if you like. What's the next competition draw? So as I mentioned, Paul's channel next week, it will be for this upgrade freestyle, which is a great tool.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, Paul's got one too. I stand straight behind for the back and squarely for the sides and straight in front, as Sassoon method teaches. Yes, exactly. Precisely that. So cute, the cat. The cat is so cute. Sunlight, so cute. Oh my God, says Lisa. Pia says, can't wait. Hope you are back feeling more comfortable. See you both soon. What a sweet cat. And Gabsy, thanks for tonight. Both amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. We love you. Love you. Love you. Thank you for joining us. We can't wait to see you again. And don't forget, tomorrow night, see you here for the one and only Dennis Gebhardt. See you soon, guys. Ciao.
Bye-bye.